It's time we quit trying to kill the coastline.
A system designed 42 years ago to protect their properties.
It did serve a purpose, but it needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed now.
Is no longer worth the high rates to many of the homeowners along Texas shore.
But if people can't afford to live and work around here, then industry is going to be hurt.
Worried about losing workers at petrochemical plants and oil companies, leaders in the state's 14 coastal counties convened in the weeks leading up to the coming legislative session to rally those paying dearly for their wind insurance.
We're going to go forward with a coastal plan. We are going to be the aggressors. We are going to start and define the discussion.
Texas Windstorm Insurance rates have increased an average of 5% every year for the past 10 years for residential properties, 6% on the commercial end. The Windstorm Association has spent $2.1 billion on losses and litigation related to 2008's Hurricane Ike alone. And for many, the elevated premiums are on top of what they pay for their homeowners and flood insurance policies. TWIA reforms have been a focus of the past 2 legislative sessions, with lawmakers making changes to how it's funded, eligibility requirements, claims processes, and agency transparency. But the people who formed the Coastal Windstorm Task Force here want more, like increasing the number of coastal residents on TWIA's 10-member governing board and a statewide catastrophe insurance plan that would have all Texans share in the cost.
Well, I think it's important to make sure that we don't do legislation that punishes the coast. That's what we've been up against. That sends a negative message for economic development here, which cuts revenue to the state of Texas.
Those here along the coast drafting the TWIA reform legislation say this session will be different because they'll be offering what they call a 3-pronged solution that addresses the board, cost, and more stringent building codes.
Now we have a plan that brings that change forward, and I think in a way that's going to be acceptable to both factions. The inland people who don't want to support the coast, and the coast that doesn't want to be, as Todd puts it, segregated.
They're hoping it's a plan that will also draw support from lawmakers in other parts of the state and pass in the 83rd legislature. Reporting in Corpus Christi, this is ALANA ROCHA for the Texas Tribune.